point when I say the word interactive, I really hope some of you are not going to just like leave the room, okay? It's not going to be anything too daunting, I promise you. The spectrum of dyslexia is absolutely huge, okay? You can have mild dyslexia, you can have complex dyslexia, and it can interweave with many, many other types of issues and difficulties that we've actually got. Some of you might think, oh my gosh, this child's handwriting is absolutely dreadful. I can't decipher it at all. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are dyslexic. It might mean they've got aspects of dysgraphia, which can be part of dyslexia. That's why we need to get a whole picture of the student. Just have a look at that for me. Okay, if you want to start doing a bit of wibble wobble like that right now on the screen, that's absolutely fine. And have a look at that. So how does this, looking at these two things here, make you feel as a teacher? Now, before we had things that were actually on the market, what I used to do many, many years ago was to put blue tack around a pen and get the child to actually physically push down on the blue tack so that it would actually fit there. But that actually helps with some of the handwriting. There are lots and lots of different versions, okay? What some of our dyslexic needs are is a form and a way of getting something down immediately where maybe they don't have a digital device, okay? A form, or they can do a picture, or maybe a certain symbol that to them in their world means this from the learning. So please, please, you know, encourage your teachers to really think about either a little doodle book for every single child, or an extra notepad, or scraps of paper, even post-its. The power of the post-it. Now, how many of you have heard about the ACE spelling dictionary? It is ACE because this is a very, very special dictionary that you can use in your classroom to support your pupils, all right? And it helps you to look up words by their sounds. What you can also do as well, right, which is crucially brilliant, if I'd obviously had laid the book out, where you've got the document flat, you put the digital device over it and it reads it for the child or the student or the teacher. I mean, boom shakala, sorted. And that's just one thing I've showed you. Now, some of you may think to yourself, I'm not having any of that nonsense in my classroom. But if it actually helps the student or the child, then I think you really ought to think about interweaving it. We know that many children can be affected by light, sound, as part of their dyslexia. And you'll see on the bottom left there, I'm not asking you to go out and get a lava lamp, all right? Although I do know lava lamps are lush. Do not get your students who have dyslexia to copy from the board. Number one, it's a waste of time. Number two, there's no learning happening. And number three, okay, you might be a little bit shattered and could do with like a little bit of a 2-minute rest, but really it's not beneficial in the long run. What you could do, number one, is literally take a picture of what's on the board and either send it to them using a digital device or give them a digital device where they can see it. But can you imagine, right, you're asking a student to write something, they're going into a meltdown, but we're going from speech to text. This can go anywhere now. You can copy it, you can put it anywhere, you can send it, you can write your reports, okay? You can send people messages, you can do emails using speech to text, not just for your dyslexic learner. having a peer buddy as well, somebody that's not the teacher that can help them, taking turns. Use an ICT, use music actually as well, because the right music at the right time will reinforce some thinking time for students. I'm going to reiterate that calm, clear manner. Humour is great sometimes, but if you've got somebody who has dyslexia but also ASC, they may not necessarily always get what you're saying. Deliberate silence and breaks in between instructions, okay? Eye contact, but without confrontation. I remember once a student said to me, you looked at me with your cow eyes. And your cow eyes were really freaky. Okay, I got big eyes, but I really wasn't, trying to put that student off. But I learned a lesson that me looking at that student with my cow eyes was causing a bit of a problem. But some coloured text for different lines. We know that some overlays will work for some children, even coloured lenses, but this is not going to work for everybody. That's why we need to find out what specifically their needs are. Writing frames and chunking the learning. His daughter Olivia has dyslexia, and she shared with me 10 things that she loves about being dyslexic. So for many people, it doesn't need to be a problem or a disability, but it can be if we don't put the right support in place.